Cruel.
King
Yeah.
Cruel. Yeah.
All right, we are live again. My apologies.
All right, yay, we're back. Hercules. All right, so we are back live. See who all jumped. I see all you motherfuckers jump ship. I see how it is. What's up, Pudsey? I see how it is. That's all right, though. But we were talking about Funimation's tweet and them having the possibility of getting Broly into Smash Brothers. We were kind of talking about it a little bit off air, and we were thinking, like, you know, Nintendo is kind of just like throwing every fucking thing at Smash. I want them to go, since they, like, if this is a true thing, I want them to go even further. Like, let's just reach out to just every fucking company known to man, and let's get a character in that bitch. Let's get a NBA 2K baller up, and let's put LeBron.
Shaq.
Let's say
Shaq.
No.
Put in Shaq.
Let us get us. Oh, we can do Shaq Fu Shack. Put Shaq Fu Shack in there. You know what I'm saying? We can put fucking like look, we can go like dude from Dead Space, Isaac from Dead Space. Let's put his ass in there. You know, Rayman, I think already was in that bitch. Or is it Trophy?
No. Trophy,
No.
I think.
Yeah, but let's make him an actual character.
Yeah.
Hey,
Geralt in there. Let's get Geralt in there. Let's get the Witcher in this motherfucker. We got this.
Yeah, let's put the Witcher. I'll take Geralt. Let's put Geralt and Rivia up in that bitch.
No, there was a rumor that he was gonna be in the Smash Bros. Or something like that.
that would never happen. Nintendo would have to shell out a lot of money.
When they first announced Geralt being in a fighting game, they didn't say which one it was. And what happened was the promo material had Nintendo colors. So it looked like he was coming to the Switch, like, oh shit, you know, Geralt of Rivia is coming to fucking Smash. But the promo material was actually for Soul Calibur.
Right.
Because you know, he's in Soul Calibur. So that's what it was. It was that teaser that they released, and everybody was like, oh shit, he's definitely in Smash, you know, guarantee, you know, Gerald is my new man. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, they should go nuts. I mean, put the Green Ranger in there.
Now that'd be dope. That would be dope.
Oh shit. I'll definitely take Green Ranger. Put fucking, shit, you can put anybody in that bitch.
Yeah. Put Arnold from Hey Arnold. He can hang out with the Earthbound. You know, just go nuts.
I mean, since we got Metal Gear in there, put the Terminator in there.
Terminator.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Here's one. Johnny Bravo. Let's put Johnny Bravo in that bitch. You know what
There
I'm
you
saying?
go.
Let's do Cow and Chicken. Let's do fucking Dexter's Laboratory. You want me to keep going? Let's do fucking the Prince goddamn Ice. What's the name of that shit?
Don't forget the Powerpuff Girls.
One character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I swear, like it'll be it'll become the Netflix of fighting games because you'll just sit on a seat. But I really want to play Green Ranger, but I also like, oh my god, Geralt's in there, and you won't know who to pick, so you just sit on the menu. Oh shit! They put Bambi in the game. Well, I want to fight with him.
they put Bambi in the game.
My mains will be Bambi, Geralt of Rivia, the Green Ranger, and Mario. Those will be my.
I got one.
It should just go. Sakurai should just go nuts. He should just go around Japan and see what he can get. Like, just go send his people out. Just like get Sailor Moon and just knock on their door.
God, I'll take Sailor Moon.
Right?
Oh, get Voltron, the
Voltron
robot form.
Yeah.
Voltron would be dope. But he'd be like, they would have to shrink his ass down unless they let him.
That's the same like Broly. He would just take off the whole screen.
Yeah,
Take the whole screen.
what about Dave Chappelle dressed as Rick James?
There you go.
There you go. And that's what the character should be. Chappelle dressed up.
This intro is like, I'm Rick James, bitch.
Then he can have a costume. He can be Dave Chappelle and as Little John. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Or Clayton Big beats all of them.
Shit, fuck it. Shit. It's just like everybody. Just put everybody. Hell, just put all 3 Darksiders protagonists in that bitch. Let's just go ahead and throw fucking. Hey, put our podcast in there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. Yeah.
Hey, just you can pick David. You know what I'm saying?
Better yet, doesn't Bandai Namco make Dark Souls? But the Dark Souls characters in there. Yeah, then you can actually say, look, it's a Soulsy game.
It will truly be.
You be fucked. You would be fucked because the Dark Souls guys don't jump.
Oh, that's true.
You be fucked. What are you gonna do when don't jump?
Here we go. Look, we just put Spider-Man in there. Fuck it. He's already popular right now. Just put Spider-Man in. You know what I'm saying? Beetlejuice, you said?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
I'll take Beetlejuice. Put Beetlejuice, Freddy, Chucky, and fucking Mike Myers in that bitch. Put them in there. Fuck it. You know, just throw everybody in Smash that you can. Make the download like 400 gigs. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, you could not put it on your Switch. You have to buy the console.
They have to build a Switch just to play this game.
You're like, damn, Smash Bros. $399. Because you gotta buy its own Switch and shit. No, that would. I would live in.
Next thing you know, they'd be putting Disney in there, and you're running around with freaking Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell might wreck you. You know what I'm saying? Tinkerbell will wreck your shit. No, she won't. She'll get fucking demolished. I do want to go to our viewer question of the day. We had one of our viewers in our podcast Facebook room. They wanted us to kind of touch base on a question that they had, and the question was, and I probably asked this to Chris first. Industry guys go first. What makes a great review or reviewer? Like, what are some of the things that you look for? And I'm gonna start with Chris. That you say, okay, this was a good review, or I trust this reviewer.
I think a reviewer that is honest, actually plays through the game, and can critique on use as much objective metrics as possible to arrive at their conclusion and score. Like, it's easy to say, oh, this game sucks. It's hard to, well, you have to say why it sucks, right?
Right.
You have to commit. So a good reviewer is going to tell you a game is good or bad based on their best objective metrics. How are the controls? How are the graphics? How's the gameplay? Does it have a good story? Is the music good? Is the sound good? You know, those things. And to me, those are the basic things that you could build off of to build a great review. Also, a good reviewer will show you not just marketing art they get from a press kit. They'll actually make screenshots or videos themselves and show you, which is why I always say I prefer watching like you guys or others on Twitch and stuff. I think that's the most honest review you can get, where you can actually see the game. You can see it operate. Then you have full disclosure. So I think as close as you can get to that is what makes a good review, right? And it's not, you approach a game objectively. You don't have any bias like, oh, I hate RPGs and I had to play Dragon's Quest. Well, that's probably not going to be a good review, right? So, you have to play to your strengths. If you don't like sports, don't review a Madden game and then tell me it's bad, because I'm not going to believe you. I'm just going to think, oh, you don't like sports games. So that's going into your review. So things like that.
For sure. I absolutely agree with that. I can second that too, because it's like you can kind of tell who's like, okay, this person likes this type of genre, so if it does fucking suck, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of, you have that feeling. Sometimes, and I hate to kind of put them out there, but IGN, sometimes their reviews is fugazi as fuck. And I think that meme where it was like, what was it like? It was like 5 out of 10 too much water or some dumbass shit. they had reviewed for one of the Pokemon games. They said it was too much water, which is idiotic. It makes you don't want to believe that person. It's like, how could that be a negative thing? Too much water. What does that mean? What does that mean to me as a player? So you kind of weigh that too. Plus, you have to kind of look at their overall, like, who they're working with, what companies are deciding to line themselves with. You have like that scum side that, well, they're PlayStation fanboys and they're gonna rate games bad because it's not on their fucking system. So you have those, and you kind of, when you look at that, you go, can I really listen to this person tell me about this game when I know for a fact they're gonna have an automatic bias against it because it's not on their piece of plastic that they fucking own and shit. So you have to kind of weigh those options. A good review, I second that too. If they, come up with their own clips and they really take the time to kind of edit stuff and put stuff in what they liked and showcase parts of their review in the video, like, hey, this is one of my pro points here, with combat. They showcase parts of the combat that they like. That's when the reviewer actually cared, because they went in depth. They played part of the game. They record some of their gameplay. They put it up on their PC. They took time to edit it. Let's focus in on these aspects of the game that I really enjoyed. You may agree,
Yeah, and a real review also nowadays, things we've gotten to a point where a guy's authentic when he doesn't complain about having to pull out $60 and buy a game to review it.
Right.
When somebody complains that publisher didn't send him a copy of a game and tchotchkes and invite him to a lavish party, you probably don't want to listen to that motherfucker. You probably want to get somebody real who will actually play the game. See, shit like Too Much Water, you need to go right for Slate. Go right for the East Coast fancy coffee drinking motherfuckers. We don't care for that humor, right? You didn't play the game, you don't care about games. That tells me you don't give a shit.
Exactly.
You gotta give me real shit,
Give me the real, even if it's a game that you're super hype about and you know that the person loves that genre and they kind of bash it a little bit, it may hurt to hear that game that you're hype about sucks, but you can believe them and you can respect that, it's probably a game that they were hype about too, and, it was a letdown. You look at something like Watch Dogs, if we go back to that, a lot of people were hype about that because it was kind of playing off of that Assassin's Creed. It was like, it was like, modern day setup. Everybody kind of wanted that. How can I be kind of like this Templar, killer, mysterious type person that's, going against the powers that be, and I'm doing it in a modern setting. And a lot of people were fucking hype about that. But then when people got their hands on it, and those people who basically got their hands on it, like open world games like GTA and shit, so they were all hype about it. But when they did that review and they were kind of like, this shit is not where it is. It hurt, but it was true, and you can kind of believe that because people were hype, people love those type of games, open world, do anything, shoot, do whatever the fuck, and to hear that it didn't make the cut. It hurts, but the truth is truth, and that's what you want out of a reviewer. You want somebody to tell you, hey, I don't care how much hype you have for it. Even like if Spider-Man had a bad review. If it was bad reviews all around, and some of the ones that you do follow, the trustworthy reviewers, if it was bad, it's bad. There's no bias with it. It fucking sucks. But people were hyped. People were like, they played it. They were like, wow, this is actually better than my hype was for the game. And people who actually play those type of genres, they actually rated it truthfully. They said this shit was amazing. I don't know, IGN, their review was a little suspect, but I think everything with IGN now is fucking suspect. And I think Philip Munson is the best and most trusted reviewer. Fuck you, Dre. No. Hold on, let's get this out the way for Dre. All right. So
also, what I want to add is that, well, like for me personally, that you remember back in the day, Machinima used to be really big on YouTube, and they would also do their reviews of games also. But now look where they are. That they're not as big anymore since YouTube is on decline. Mm-hmm. And it's just like that, what Chris was saying, that the best ones are just that independent, that they give their true feelings about the game. They're not paid by some company to write this pretty much crap report that it's not true, but there's people that still believe that, and so that really hurts on the small companies because of just one person writes something bad, everybody believes it. Next few months, that company has to close because they're not getting enough games out. And then also, like, when AC Unity came out, people stopped playing it because when it first came out, all the bugs and such. But I still went out, and then when they fixed the bugs and such, I still really enjoyed the game, and it was a really good game, really good story set in the French Revolution. I really liked it.
But that's called. But you have to experience things yourself too. I think that's another thing with reviews too. You can only listen to reviews so much, you know, and then there's a point where it's like, you don't know if this is what you really should be listening to. Is this a review I really should take to heart, or is this something that I could just listen to and then say, fuck that. That's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to experience stuff yourself. Now, granted, there is a general consensus, and you have to weigh those options too. If everybody, and I'm talking about everybody, indies, major fucking websites are saying this game is pure shit, you have to kind of go, man, I think it is, and you have to come to that realization. If you want to take that leap, I mean, there's a few games that, and I'm going to say it too, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was a prime example. And even though it is probably one of the best games I've ever played now, when it first came out, I took that plunge. Everybody kind of played it and they were like, this is pure shit. And I was like, no, E3, it was just an amazing game. I think people just don't have patience. And I fucking bought the game and I'm like, this is pure fucking piss. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was totally fucking upset about it. But then, they re-released with No Man's Sky next. And, you have all these independent people that were just on YouTube and doing videos saying, hey, hold on. No Man's Sky is amazing now. And it was like, if you've had it in the past and you want to go out and get it again, you can't beat the price tag of $19.99. They want you to come back in good faith. They re-released the game at a good price point. And I took that plunge, and you know what? I swear to God, and No Man's Sky is probably one of the best games I've ever played, and it really is now. It really did meet that plateau of what they promised at E3. But you have to kind of just weigh. Everybody was saying it was great, so I took that plunge, and it was. There was a few games that I took the plunge on where everybody said it was dope, and it was trash, like Yakuza. And I'm probably going to catch a lot of heat for this, but after playing Sleeping Dogs, Yakuza is trash. You know what I'm saying? Like Yakuza, and Yakuza, everybody loves it. Yakuza's amazing. It has all this dumbass shit. You can do karaoke and fucking fight dudes. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm all for that. So I signed up for it, bought the game, Yakuza 0. And I'm like, no. This shit is stiff as fuck. I fucking suck at karaoke in real life and in fucking Yakuza 0. So it just did not help with that aspect.
Terry is the best one.
No, I'm sorry. Terry, I love you, Terry, but no.
Trust me, there's a reason why I call my karaoke cringe karaoke, because that's exactly what it is. All right, I'm telling you exactly what you're getting. There's no surprises, okay? In advance when I start singing, it's called cringe karaoke, okay? That's my disclaimer, right frickin' there.
Terry, I'm gonna give you a life, so you back up to 5.
Yeah, I want to add something to that also, but I mean, there's a couple times I reviewed the games and stuff like that. I'll throw this out there. There was a game that me and Terry reviewed together at one time. It was called Spheres. We gave our honest opinion about it, and we tweeted about it. Where to find the review, where to read it. Then the developer did not like our review and blocked us.
Yeah, He wants everyone to kiss his ass and tell everybody how his one game that he made was freaking digital gold, and it was not that great. It was just a very simple, like Prism geometric puzzle game, you know. Yep. There are plenty of other ones like it that do get really, really difficult, and they're still fun to play. Thing with his is it wasn't any fun to play. It was just boring. And
we gave our honest opinion. If you can't take constructive criticism, don't be in the gaming field or in the gaming business or to make games.
Yeah, and
that's what gaming's all about. To take constructive criticism and make your games better.
Because I even said, okay, you're doing this is cool, but maybe you should try doing it this so that way it actually makes more sense and it's more fun. I gave ideas of how they could improve it. He didn't want none of that. No, he just wanted a 10 out of 10.
No, hold on. Now, let me correct something. Clubhead, thank you for being a viewer. I appreciate you being here, but let me correct you on one thing. I love Japanese games. I'm currently playing a JRPG right now. So it's not that I'm an American that don't get Japanese games. I don't like stiffness. I don't like when animation. I don't like when your shirt goes through the wall. I don't like when you walk, you look like you're taking a shit. I don't like when you turn the camera, the characters' faces become low res. I don't like that shit. That's the part I don't like about Yakuza. Yakuza is a very stiff-ass game. The controls are not smooth, like they say. I do like some of the different styles that you learn, like strong and speed style, and some of that looks kind of cool. But as a whole product, it is very, very stiff. I cannot get with that. I'm comparing two open world martial arts games together, and Sleeping Dogs wins by a landslide for me because Sleeping Dogs was very, very fluid, and I felt that the story was on point more so than Yakuza. I do like the Yakuza, deep criminal drama. I love that type of shit. I used to watch a lot of old school martial arts criminal dramas with Yakuza and all that shit. I am a huge fan of all of that. I'm just not a fan of Yakuza. Yakuza blows fucking chunks. Do I like Zone of the Enders? Yes. Do I like a lot of Japanese games? Hell fucking yes. I love Devil May Cry. I love all those games that come out for that. That's amazing. Yakuza fucking blows. Period. Sorry, Clubhead. I appreciate you. But for me, it sucks. Yeah, I'm saying it does. It just doesn't add up. I've been trying to play it. I honestly, if you go look at my Steam, I'm at HMDPZ. You can check me out right now. I probably got about 30 hours in, so it's not like I'm IGN. You know what I'm saying? I don't just play it, for 4 hours and be like, this shit is terrible. I got about 30 hours in, and all my 30 hours, I kept thinking, I want to play Sleeping Dogs. I don't want to play Yakuza. That's where I was.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
Chris, when, games get certain games get 10 out of 10, does that mean it's perfect? And do they deserve the 10 out of 10?
Well, I know Tony and myself, we have a rigid view of game scores. There's no such thing as a perfect game. That's not possible. So I think 10 out of 10s are...
Here we go.
Please tell me you are like me and that there's no such thing as a 10 out of 10. Please.
No, I agree. It should be an unattainable score. It should be like, it exists. 10 exists, but you can get close, maybe. But I'm one of those guys, if you give it 10 out of 10, it's more for how much advertising revenue did you get?
There you go. Thank you. Because, I get so triggered when I see 10 out of 10s. I'm like, no.
Can I rebut that a little bit? Can I rebut that just a bit?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, I think I agree there is no such thing as a perfect game. But I think for me, the feeling for 10 out of 10 is more of the total package. Mm-hmm. And One game that I think deserves a 10 out of 10, even though there were some tiny issues, was God of War. Even though it's not a perfect game, it's not a game that was like, you see Jesus come down and pick the game up. It's not like that. But what I do love about the game is that as a total package, you're talking about story, you're talking about graphics, you're talking about mobility and character fidelity. And to be able to see all these things in a package that works 99% of the time, I think is worthwhile. That doesn't mean it's free from bugs or free from errors. 10 out of 10 is a total of, out of everything, would this be the game that I would go to sleep and think about every day while I'm at work? Yes. And if the game does that to me, that's a 10 out of 10. Because it's one thing that has consumed my life. It's a 10 out of 10, even though, yes, there are problems maybe, but we're talking about as a whole. If it makes me say, tell my wife that I won't see you tonight.
Well, I'm a proponent of getting rid of review scores. I think things should just be graded as like, either you do excellent, good, fair, poor, and trash, or you just do, or ultimately what people want to know is, should I spend my hard-earned money on this game? So just do a buy or do not buy.
Yeah,
that would be the simplest
exactly.
thing
Thank you.
recommend.
That's exactly what things that I've been saying on this show for so long.
I agree.
That we don't need a freaking score. We don't need a score.
Well, doesn't Kotaku do that? They don't do numbers.
No.
They do don't buy or buy, right?
You didn't say you rated Kotaku, did you? I don't know my Kotaku a lot.
Listen,
Scores are just dumb. We don't need scores. And then you get,
Hold on. Wait, don't lose the life right now. You know what I'm saying? I just said, I'm talking about the style. I'm not saying, yes, Kotaku is the Philip Mewson fucking... I just said that they usually do a column called Buy, Don't Buy. And they exactly review for a game, and they don't have a number. They talk about what they love and hate about the game, and then they have like the pros and cons. And then at the end, they have a little paragraph that says, should I buy it? And then they explain why. Yes, hell yeah, go out and get it right now. Or they say, well, it depends on who you are. So I do like that format of grading.
Exactly, Alucard. I agree.
Yeah, I don't read Kotaku, but I do agree with Danny. I do agree with Danny that format is what everybody should use. Because I'm a huge proponent that when you go and you say your game is a 7.2, what the fuck is a 0.2? and when you're saying this game's a 7.2 and this is 7.3, what the hell's the difference between a 0.2 and then the 0.3?
Puddles. They got puddles in that motherfucker.
It's like, I'm gonna give this one the 0.3 because we had one extra little speck on this little thing on this part of the texture that this game didn't have. What? Stupid.
I got a question for you, Chris. Has there been a game that you've seen that popular media said, oh, it's bad, but then it just outshined all those reviews, and the fans said, oh my god, this is one of the best games ever come out?
I'm trying to think, because I know that has happened for movies more than video games. I don't trust movie reviews for shit anymore.
Yeah, I know.
and that happens where I was like, this movie's trash. Now if somebody's like, especially in a big publication, says this movie's trash, I'm most likely gonna see it. Like, they got my money now. Just to piss you off.
This shit about to be amazing.
Yeah. So, with games, I can't think recently, because I have paid attention less and less to things like IGN and stuff. And as it comes out that their reviewers are not gamers, they're just trash people who want to write for the New York Times politics column and not for video games, that I don't care what they think. I watched Arthur Guy's Doom playthrough. I did a Doom playthrough where I was popping guys in the head, punching guys, and laughing and having a great time. And I watched Arthur Guy shoot the ground and not know where the fuck he was going or how to aim. And I'm like, this is a first-person shooter. This is the most basic fucking thing you could do. And you don't know what you're doing. D. Takahashi took 15 minutes to jump over and dash, do an air dash in Cuphead. I'm like, what the hell's wrong?
Are you fucking serious? What?
watch his playthrough. They put the pigeon intelligence test next to him to show a pigeon could figure out how to move a block and get a berry off of a branch before he figured out how to air dance. In the tutorial. This is a tutorial teaching you how to fucking do it. The game. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how embarrassing that was. And then you know, these guys use their columns to just fucking rag on people, whatever, and they start it. I can't stand them, so I don't look at that stuff anymore. I trust, like, you guys, you stream, you talk about shit, so I trust you guys. I don't trust guys like that because they're not gamers. They never
they don't play the shit. They just write. That's it.
Yeah, they just write, and they got to pay their rent, and they weren't good enough to get on the Washington Post or Slate or Salon or wherever they really want to be. They got into IGN or whatever, and then what are they going to do? They're going to plagiarize or say there's too much water because they think their lives are too good to play video games. Those are not people you should trust.
Right.
Exactly. I think that's the downfall of them right now. I think IGN as a whole is kind of crumbling, and it's kind of sad. But then it's like, you know, what you expect. You know, IGN. This isn't the first offense. You know what I'm saying? It goes deeper than that. It's like there's always this article or some whistleblower that has said something about IGN being paid for reviews and these things. You know, the person only played the game for 20 fucking minutes and wrote up the review was longer than how long they played and shit. And it's just you know, you have to kind of be wary with reviewers. You have to listen to them. Kind of take everything what they say. You can tell a real fan of the genre because certain things they say will trigger you to listen further to the review. It's like if they start talking about hit detection and fighting games, you're like, oh wow, okay, this person absolutely knows what I know when it comes to something that I like. I love hit detection. When I hit something, it needs to make contact. I don't want to swing a fucking sword and it goes all the way fucking through and there's no hit mark, but there's an HP point. That's not what's hot for me. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody else says something like that in a review and they say, well, you don't feel like when you're swinging and hitting people, it's like rubber, and it's like you instantly get turned off and you're like, okay, this reviewer knows what the fuck, you know, is up because that's very important to me. That's something, you know, in a fighting game that I need. If I make contact, I need to feel that contact. I don't want to feel like I'm just swinging in the wind. I want that real contact. And if this reviewer says this game doesn't have it, then damn, you know, this game may not be for me. So, you know, those little things that we pick up on reviewers, you know, if they say something like that, it triggers us. We're like, yeah, that's it. I agree with that. You know, let me listen further. Let me see what else you have to say about this game that I'm interested in.
One of the go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I just want to ask also really quick that what about Game Informer, like their game magazine?
Oh, I can't stand that magazine.
Game Informer at one point was a righteous mag, though. You know, Game Informer would always have the lead story on things that nobody fucking else had, especially games that were coming out. And, you know, they would make a cover story in a game that just like, you just couldn't imagine that somebody had announced. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's because of digital media. You know, those old press mags and stuff like that, it's hard for them to stay fruitful nowadays just because of digital media. So, you know, EGM, unfortunately, as righteous as a mag that it was at its time, is no longer, it's not the same thing. It's not the same strengths that they had. You know, regular paper print is kind of a thing of the past now. So, you know, their monies aren't the same. They, you know, their access may not be the same like they used to. So, you know, they have to fight for exclusives, stories and things like that. So I don't think they're the same like they used to be. They used to be a heavy hitter. Nintendo Power, EGM, all of those magazines used to be like, hell yeah, you know, that's a must to get. And everything in this magazine, you know, all the reviews, the back pages, all that shit I love. But now it's like, I don't really need to listen to them. You know, I can go to YouTube and get 42,000 opinions, you know, on a game that I'm thinking about buying, and I can really make my decision from that instead of turning a few pages.
And you can actually see them playing the game. Like, I don't do anything written anymore because you don't have no guarantee that they even played it. All you're seeing is what they're writing. They very well may never have played it. They're just taking somebody else's opinion.
Yep.
Philip,
you know what?
You already know.
not even just that. Even before the scandals that started coming up in recent news, I mean, I never bought into anything that was written because I cannot physically see them playing it to know that they actually played it. How do I know that they played it? They might have just, paid the developer, yo, I'm gonna cover your game if you guys give us some money or whatever, and then they just, throw some spit shine on there. I have no way of knowing what happened. I can't physically see them playing it.
True.
One of my favorite guys that I like to listen to, I'm not sure what his name is on YouTube, but his show is called Before You Buy, and he does like a guide. Yeah, he's one of my, because he goes really in depth, and he's not biased. He's not trying to be a Sony fanboy, a Microsoft fanboy, or anything like that. He just tells it straight up. And there's been times where there was games that I liked that he didn't like, but he kept it 100. He'll tell you, hey, this might be your cup of tea, but for me, this didn't make the cut. So he's one of my most trusted. Anytime any game comes out, I go to him first.
David, I'm about to expose you, David. I'm about to expose you right now. Okay.
Why?
And the reason why I'm exposing you because you won't listen to me about No Man's Sky, but I want you to go see his review, David, because he definitely said buy it. So, David, you are
exposed.
I told you I was gonna get it.
He's like, I don't want to fucking give another chance. I said, dude, it's $20, so I don't give a fuck. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Then he comes on the show talking about he fucking 100% trusts. Okay, well, he said it was a guaranteed buy for him. He said, No Man's Sky Next was what you do as a company when you want to fucking make things right. And he said he's already poured over 100 hours into the game. So, David, fuck you. You need to go get that guy No Man's Sky, man. It's $19.99, dude. I know. I took it. I had it for $59.99. I returned it. I actually listened to his review with another couple of reviews for it. I went out and rebought it for $19.99, and it's one of the best games I've ever played. So,
and see, I like that. They took who does the game? Who makes the game? Okay, they actually took the constructive criticism and took the time, even though it wasn't perfect when it first launched, and are now still working on it and making it a better game.
Still working on it, and it's still amazing. And the reviews for it are top notch. So you just have to kind of like look at go to your favorites, listen to what they say, and then test the game out yourself to get a real true idea of game or review.
I never said I was never ever gonna buy it. I just said for right now my priorities are in the newer games that I have never experienced, and so I'm willing to put that in. Plus, remember, I'm married with children. You know what I'm saying? I'm Al Bundy in this mother.
I was about to say, he's Al Bundy on the football.
When I'm devoting resources have to go toward the most pristine things.
Exactly.
And so at this point, I had to go wait for Spider-Man. I had to wait for some of the newer things. But, hey, listen, I'm not opposed to getting it. I do want to try it out again. So everybody's saying it's so good as they're saying it is. I will try it out again, for sure.
You got to understand, Danny. A shoe salesman only makes so much. He had to sell a couple size 14s.
Exactly.
He sells a couple size 14 LeBrons to get to Spider-Man.
Right. You know how many fat women I had to put shoes on to get them? No, I'm just playing. Let me stop. Let me take that back because we are in the internet, and I'm not fat shaming. I myself. Listen. And I don't want people to take it the wrong way. I'm not fat shaming. I'm a corporate food. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to do like Al Bundy. Please, that's the disclaimer.
I do need to request real quick. I hate to kind of break it down, but I do need to leave in a couple minutes. And I'm the one that's streaming this thing.
Yeah, that's right,
I have another engagement I have to get to in like 10 minutes.
That's right. Oh, I'm sorry, we went over. Okay, quick thing. I took it back. Rebought it, loved it. So I was somebody who hated it, then loved it. So there you go. All right, final round. Who wants in?
I'll go. I'll do also.
Okay, all right. So we got King in final round. I'm in final round. I think that's it. So, all right. So me and King, really? All right.
I'll let you go first.
All right. Well, welcome me and King to
final round.
Okay. Trigger activated. Alright. Mega Man, tell me this. What the fuck happened to the wall kick jump? What happened to it? I couldn't get anywhere. What the fuck happened to the wall kick? Hold on, I'm being interrupted in my final round by my wife. Just pause.
Teddy's losing a life.
Hold on. Go ahead, King. I'm gonna jump in after you.
All right. So my trigger is what we were just talking just now. Reviews that starting off first with E3 when they show game, and then they say, "Oh, we're gonna show you actual gameplay," and it's some person that just probably volunteer or they paid and doesn't know jack crap about the game, and people are just there sitting and looking at this person and being like, I'm just wasting my time because this person doesn't really know how to play the game. And you've probably seen it in previous E3s that they get some guy or some popular YouTube guy come out and play the game. So for me, that was something that's like, just get an actual person that knows the game come out and actually show the fans what it's really like the game. Also, just IGN and all that, and this is for movies also, but movies is a whole different topic, but where it's like they just do it quick for money and such, and it's like, can you guys get just at least a guy that really knows their stuff and make a good review? Because some of these games that the small companies put out, they could outshine the most popular game right there on the market. But being IGN and all that, we're gonna screw the smaller companies and they're gonna plummet their sales and just pretty much be biased towards the most popular gaming developers and systems and all that. And so that there's no equality for that. And so that really gets me triggered that, come on, do it right, do it fair, and everybody could be happy.
For sure. Take myself back in. All right, so Mega Man, and Terry's about to be triggered because I just want to trigger Terry real quick. It is Dark Souls hard. Look, I'm just playing. But no, I am triggered with Mega Man because I distinctly remember Mega Man having a wall kick where he could jump and kind of like hug the wall a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and get up on certain areas. There is that.
He didn't kick the wall, he hung on it.
Well, he
freaking crotch grinded the wall. What are you talking about?
Okay, well,
you did. You had to keep freaking mashing the button so he would keep kind of like going up and down the freaking wall. He's freaking grinding the damn wall, and then you time it and jump.
Well, that's what the fuck I want. But hold on, Terry. Let me do this. Let me get this out the way first, though. Okay? So let's do this for Terry. Because you jumped in the final round and you're not in it. So let's go ahead.
Mike jumped in, too.
Okay, so yeah, let's get Mike. Yeah, let's get Mike out the way. Mike, and then there were 3 for Mike. But that's what I'm saying. I just could not fucking understand the shit with Mega Man and no wall kick. It was like I kept doing it and I kept dying. It's like, where the fuck is it? Is it an upgrade? What is it? But it's not in the fucking game. That is not part of the game at all. So that triggered me too. To no fucking end. What else triggered me? There was one other thing I wanted to talk about that triggered me. Once again, Yakuza. Don't try me. Yakuza, you stiff ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I poured 30 hours into your shit, and I am not loving it like McDonald's. So there's that. I think that's it. I know Terry has to get out of here. Yeah, that's it. King, anything else?
Just really quick in the chat that Alucard's saying lies, F them small companies. It's like, come on. Come on, man, really? It's just that, there's some true small companies out there trying to make a name, and they do it fair. They go through pretty much all the red tape and just try to do their best, while all these bigger companies, shady under the table stuff, and they get always their way.
Okay. Well, yes, that's true. But hopefully it can be curbed at some time, because I hate to see a small company get buried just because a fucking major, reviewer just was shitting, not giving them shit. So I hate to see that, but it is a sad reality. Sometimes you have to pay to play. And it's like, if you don't put that into the budget of paying a motherfucker to kind of give you a little bit of spotlight, you may not get it. Sometimes word of mouth wins, but sometimes it don't. So, that's how it goes. All right, I guess that was me and King in the final round. Okay. Terry, was I triggered enough? Did I give you...
It was good. It was good. I'm triggered, though, because your camera's been glitching this whole freaking time. I'm looking at a damn spiral.
What the fuck? It's like...
Look at a damn spiral. But, you're just losing. But, I just want to put in quick before we end the show that, yes, there are small companies that are trying hard to make it, but what I hate is the big companies get away with fucking bullshit.
Agreed.
There was a comment made in here earlier about how freaking Rockstar is gonna always, do well with their games, and Rockstar is one, not Rockstar, my bad, Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog is one that's, yes, their games are fun and they're good, but they're fucking copy and paste. Look at Uncharted. It's copy fucking paste. Copy paste. They get away with that shit. If somebody else copy paste, we fucking make fun of it. But they get a free pass. Bethesda, most of their games are buggier than piss. But guess what? They get a free pass. Anybody else makes a buggy ass game, we're gonna fucking, destroy Twitter about it. But they get a free pass? No, it's bullshit. Everybody needs to be held accountable for the same shit. Don't give Bethesda or Naughty Dog free passes when any other company that does the same shit is gonna get thrown to the wolves. It's bullshit.
Chris.
Agree 100 times.
Chris, you should check out Terry's Uncharted comparison. Dude, you like truth shit. You will fucking love it. It was amazing. Terry combed through all these different fucking scenes through she played the game and basically recorded just all these different fucking scenes with all the different Uncharted games and showed you the copy and paste right fucking there. It is an amazing feat that she did, and it's on your channel as well as the platforms, right?
It was on the platform YouTube, but I think it got taken down. But I think it's still on mine.
Okay, all right. So yeah, and I'll make sure I get that link, and I'll put it under the description so everybody who's watching can check that out.
Yeah, I was so triggered.
I was rolling some Chris. When you get a chance, man, check that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, companies are guilty of that. Like you mentioned, Naughty Dog and Bethesda are the most guilty of that. I mean, Fallout, they got up there. I remember when Fallout 4 was going to come out, and we did this brand new engine. I'm like, you freaking liars. You didn't do anything new. This is the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I know, Terry, you got to get the fuck out. So, thank you guys for watching. Let me shout out chat real quick. So we got Dreology, we got Budsy, we got Alucard, we got John, we got Clubhead. Who else did we have? I know we had
Persona.
Persona. What's up, Persona? Did I say Dreology? Yeah, I said Dreology.
Yeah.
All right. So shouts out to chat. I want to give a shout out to our viewer that gave us the question. I had him pulled up here. His name is, hold on. I don't want to fuck him over because I told him I would give him a shout out since he did provide our viewer question for the day. His name is Brandon Daly. Shouts out to Brandon Daly. He's a fan of the show and he kind of wanted to pick our brains on what type of reviewers and reviews that we listen to. So shouts out to Brandon Daly in the podcast room. Shouts out to everybody at our panel here. Chris Seeley, thank you so much, man, for coming through. I know you are a busy guy, but I appreciate it. Give us a little quick outro of where everybody can find you, and go.
Hey, yeah, I appreciate being on. It was a great conversation, great show. You can check us out on the Throwdown. Throwdowns every Thursday, and we have our question show, Throw Down Your Questions, every Sunday night. That's at 10:30 Eastern Time. So come check us out. That'll be tomorrow at 10:30. We'll have Throw Down Your Questions, episode 200.
For sure. Links will be below, too, for Throwdown, as well as Chris Seeley, so I have those links below, so you can check him out. King, thank you for coming through, sir. Man, I know you check us out. Man, I know you wanted to get on here, and I know you wanted to troll. I felt it. But the conversation got so good, it was like you forgot to troll. So, but let everybody know where they can find you, and go.
Well, really, on Twitter, well, like my full name, Diego Lavarel, you can find me there. Discord, well, I'm mostly there for in Kuka Terry's, so I'm there, and also on her streams that I'm one of her mods. Come by and check her out, follow, subscribe, everything. And that doesn't mean stalk her. Also, do not stalk her. But either that way. But from there, it's like, yeah, I'm just mostly on Discord, and soon I'll be streaming also on Twitch. I want to get into that. And I'm glad to be here.
Status
and
right
I
here.
hope you can have me.
I got my very own fanboy.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the shit. Dave, aka Primetime, 7 p.m. Mr. Political, and my clone, my twin brother. Where can they find you? And go.
All right, you can find me on Facebook at News You Can Use with Primetime. You can also find me on Periscope, on Twitter, and on Instagram at Primetime 7 p.m. 09. And yeah, come check me out. I do political live streams, and fucking A, check me out.
There we go. There we go. Shouts out to everybody on the panel. Me and Big Mike, we are platform locals. So we are doing the best that we can to get the content that you like. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pornhub, Spank Bang, Tinder, anything that you can log into, you can find us. So just check us out. Just type in either the Platform Live or the Platform Podcast, and you will get us. So check us out there. And next week, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing next week. I want to do something funny next week. So we may do Jackbox Party for the show. I don't know, but I want to do something kind of silly for next week. So
I just want to quickly say, Dre's saying who's king. It's Juan D. That's my Discord name. So that's me with the Mexican avatar.
The Mexican Juan D. You know, hello, my name is Peter. You know. But King, welcome, man. But he checks out the show and he's like I said, Terry's personal fanboy. So that goes. But check us out next week, 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Same back channel. Peace out. We getting ready to roll out. Thank you guys for watching. We love y'all. You know, everybody. Peace out. Peace out. We out.